Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Gist with Girls in Science and Technology. Gist with Gist. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, Girls in Science and Technology Ghana, and let's learn from our amazing females in the science, technology, engineering, and math fields. Our females in the STEM fields. Let's continue to encourage our young females to pursue careers in STEM. Please share this video with all the amazing ladies out there who have to see this. Thank you. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome once again to Gist with Girls in Science and Technology. Gist with Gist. So on today's episode, I have a lovely, beautiful, intelligent lady. She is a doctor, not a medical doctor, a doctor of book. So I have a book doctor with me today. Her name is Dr. Danielle Twum. She's going to tell us what she does, exactly what she does. In the United States at the moment, she has left us here in Ghana. And so she's going to share her experience with us and how her journey has been like. Hello, dear.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's a very good introduction. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, dear. Thank you so much for joining us. So today we are going to go in deep. Like you're going deep back into your roots. Let me start with, when did you leave Ghana, actually?
Wow. I left Ghana in 2007. Right after I finished Wesley Girls High School. It was a deal I made with my parents that after high school I would pursue my higher ed in the United States. So that's what I did. It was hard because I moved to the US only knowing my sister and my parents. So I didn't have any friends. I didn't have anything here. Yeah, 2007. Oh my God, 13 years.
Yes, 13. 13 years. Wow. Can you please share your educational background with us from your high school?
Mm-hmm. So I went to SSS from senior high school. Okay, so I went to SSS at Wesley Girls High School. I did science. And so, which means I studied the core subjects. I'm hoping they haven't changed, right? English, math, social studies.
Yeah.
And then I did physics, chemistry, biology, advanced elective math. And then I took the SATs, and then I moved to US in 2007, where I took a gap year between 2007 and 2008, just to acclimatize to the United States. Different culture, different everything, different food. I put on a lot of weight because the food here, you tend to overeat because the portion sizes are so huge. And then I applied to college. During that gap year, I also worked a little bit, traveled a little bit around the United States. I worked so I could save some money so that I would help offset my college costs so that my parents would only take care of my tuition. And I would be able to purchase my bed sheets and all the accoutrements that come with moving to a dorm. So I applied to a bunch of colleges. I was very, very blessed and lucky to get into a couple of them. I chose Vassar College in Poughkeepsie, New York, which is a very small liberal arts college. The reason why I chose that was because I was used to small class sizes, which is like very important as you're going with your career. You should know whether you thrive in big groups or small groups. I do not thrive in big groups. I will be highly distracted if you put me in too many people. So Vassar had a very, very small student to teacher ratio, which I really liked. It was in a small town in upstate New York, which was about an hour or two train ride from New York City. So if I got bored of small town life, I could always just take a train to New York City, go to the Bronx or Harlem, get some Guinean food, and then come back. So, I thought of all those things, like, is this a good place for me? And because it was a liberal arts school, I honestly had been very tired of the very structured education in Ghana, where if you're doing science, you have to do science, everything science. Well, what about arts? Our brains are not one dimensional. Like, we think in so many different ways. Plus, science is art. So why would you not give us the chance to develop that aspect of our brains? So Vassar encouraged you to, even if you declared a biology major, a chemistry major, a hard science major, you were encouraged to take classes outside your major, which was important to you graduating. If you didn't have enough credits outside your major, you wouldn't graduate, even if you fulfilled all the requirements. So that, I think, was very important to forcing me to step outside my very comfortable science bubble. And at Vassar, I went to Vassar pre-med because, of course, I'm from Ghana. Everyone, if you do science, you have to become a doctor. Everyone has become a doctor. But I went to Vassar. I was like, maybe this pre-med thing might not be for me. There might be other things I might be interested in. So at Vassar, I took this one class. It was a bioinformatics class. I had heard of bioinformatics, but I was like, I don't know who that girl is. This is crazy. So I took one class with Professor Jody Schwartz, and I really enjoyed it because it was a class. We were modeling disease spread. We were modeling all sorts of things. And Jody said she had a summer program at Vassar that I could be a part of. And I was like, research? I mean, that's cool, but I should do it because it would look good on my application for med school. Yeah. So I did. I applied. I got chosen to work with Jody for that summer of my sophomore year, my second year. And I fell in love with research that summer. It was like the first time you eat banku and okra stew and you're just like, wow, this is it. Yeah. That's this for me. Yeah. And so I was studying coral. Have you seen Finding Nemo?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so do you remember where Nemo lived? He couldn't mention the name. Yeah. So he was using anemones to study coral bleaching, which is a result of increased global temperatures, increasing sea temperatures, which is causing corals to lose their color and become white. Because, coral reefs are very bright and vibrant. With climate change, they're losing their color, and she was trying to understand why that was happening. And so that was where I got my research start. I told Jody, I want to get a PhD. This is it. And she's like, no, you love research in my lab. You don't love research. So how about for next summer, you should apply somewhere else. And it's very important to this part of my life is very important because Jody saw my future before I did. And it's very important to have people around you that will not see you like in the next 2 years. No, you want them to see what you can do as far as their eyes can see. So you need people who dream further for you. And Jody is definitely one of those people. So she encouraged me to apply somewhere else. She's like, what else are you interested in? And I said, well, I've always been interested in cancer because when I was really, really young, my dad's younger brother, my uncle, he died from a brain tumor. And I didn't understand it. I was like, oh my God, cancer is trash. But what makes cancer so trash? So I applied to an undergraduate research experience at Roswell Park Cancer Institute in Buffalo. I got selected. I was very happy about that because it came with a great stipend. They gave you housing for the entire summer. And they also had activities to do that were for you to discover the city of Buffalo and the areas around it. Okay. So we got to go to Niagara Falls and all those cool things in addition to doing stuff in the lab. And after I was at Roswell, I went there with a question. I was like, what is cancer? By the time the summer was over, I had 17 million more questions. So I was like, okay, maybe I should go back and do a PhD. The interesting thing is after the summer program, you do a poster session. And I was on my poster. And this lady comes up to my poster and she's asking me questions and, I'm answering to the best of my ability, what I've learned for the summer, my 3 months knowledge of cancer and immunology. I know so much. So she's talking. She's like, oh, what do you want to do after? Because this is my junior year summer. Okay. Like, what are your plans for after you're done? And I said, I'm going to take a gap year, figure myself out, And she was like,
wait.
yeah, I gained weight again. I deserve. And she was like, I think you should apply to grad school. And I was like, all right, I'll think about it. So she gives me her card and then she walks away. And then I flip it over and she was the director of admissions for the Department of Immunology.
Wow.
This is why you never know who you're talking to. So be very careful what you say.
You always have to do your best, I guess.
Always. So, long story short, ended up going back to Roswell to do my Ph.D. there. At Roswell, I figured out I liked scientific communication. And so when I was, I ended up giving a TEDx Buffalo talk. I did a 3-minute thesis where I came in first runner up. And then after grad school, I knew I didn't want to stay at the bench. So I wanted a job that would merge scientific communication with still some bench work, lab work. So I applied to a startup in California. I always wanted to run away from the cold because Buffalo is too damn cold for this Ghanaian girl. No, it is too cold over there. So I came to California, worked for a small startup called Levitas Bio as a field application scientist, which means that in addition, the company has a machine that they've built to sort cells based on how heavy they are using magnetic levitation, which I was like, Shuri, ooh, Black Panther, I like that. So did that for a little bit. My job as a field application scientist entailed being able to, assemble the system, troubleshoot with customers if they wanted to run experiments on it, and also myself test the machine, test its capabilities, push it as far as it could go in the lab on my own with the help from other research and development scientists. And so I worked at Levitas for about 1.5 years, and I'm currently a translational science liaison. I was missing oncology. So the thing about Levitas is I was learning so much from so many places, but I think after 1.5 years, I was like, I think I'm ready to go back into my oncology roots. So this opening at Caris Life Sciences opened up for a translational science liaison. Okay. I applied. They liked me, which is great. And so what I do, what Caris Life Sciences does is that if you have a tumor and you send it to them, they're able to profile it on a molecular level to tell you what makes you unique from other people and to help make some drug suggestions, like this person will benefit from this drug because of this molecular biomarker that they have, which is, towards the whole personalized medicine field, because we're all unique. You can't treat everybody with the same bullet. It's not gonna work like that. So that's what I do right now. Long story, long path, but clearly.
You answered my next 2 questions. What you do.
So sorry.
What you do and why you chose this field in the first place. No, but let's take it back. Why did you decide to go into science?
Oh, that's a great question. Why not law, right? Why? Yeah. Why? So my mom is a lawyer, and I honestly thought I would be a lawyer because I liked arguing. And I had a great family who they never went like, stop arguing. No, they would egg me on. Like, oh yeah, and what about this? I'll be like, well, this, that, and that. And they're like, yeah, and what else? Which is so great because most people, when their kids talk back, they think they're being disrespectful. But I knew my parents did a great job. My parents did a great job of teaching me how to be able to express my opinion without being disrespectful. And I think that was very important to cultivating me as a human, as a whole human being. I liked science. When I was a child, I was probably about 7 or 8 or even younger. My mom bought me this book. It had the different organ systems in it, and it was like a flip book. So if you flip it, you get like the lymphatic system, the genitourinary system, you'd get the cardiology, you get all these systems. So I was like, oh my, look at all this. The cardiovascular system, you'd get all, and I was like, this is so fascinating. I'd love to learn more. And I had science teachers that were pretty awesome. I mean, my favorite science teacher to date is my chemistry teacher from Wesley Girls, Mrs. Opare, who, even though I've constantly failed every chemistry class I've ever taken, but Mrs. Opare knew how to bring chemistry. So, I mean, in the moment, I would be like, I get it. But I also don't test very well. Like if you put me in front of an exam, I don't test very well. I know this about myself. But Mrs. Opari was very encouraging. So I don't know whether I love science or science chose me. It might have been in the middle where the more I learned, the more colorful the world got. And I was like, there has to be more. I want to know more. And I think that's where the power of science is like, you learn how things work. And if you're like me, knowing how things work just excites you because you're like, okay, now I understand why the sky is blue. Now I understand why leaves are green. Now I understand why the sun sets and the sun rises. Does it? No, the earth is spinning, right? So that I think I chose science, but probably science chose me.
I think your mom did a good job by introducing it to you when you were way younger.
But I think, as much as I was reading a lot, it was good for me. But to, find solace in reading and all of that. But I think sometimes I did it too much and didn't pay attention to my friends, which made adjusting to social situations a little dicey. But I think I'm getting better at that. So, try and balance your kids out.
Okay, so what are some of the challenges that you've been faced with? And how did you overcome these challenges? I'm sure you're still facing some, like it's an ongoing thing, but then what would you want to share with us?
It's I feel like it's a very cliched statement at this point. I feel like we say it so many times, but being a Black woman in science is still rare. It's still weird. People startle when you tell them you have a PhD. Like, can I have a PhD? I don't know, don't I look like I should have a PhD? But I think for me, the thing that comes into mind is when I was in graduate school, I felt like there were different standards applied to me versus my non-Black counterparts. Okay. And there were different expectations. It's very interesting when you're in your feelings about an experiment not working, you come to work, you're in your feelings, so your face is showing it, and someone comes up to you and be like, oh, why aren't you smiling? Did you ask the other person why aren't they smiling? You have people coming up to you and telling you that, oh, you can't wear that. It makes your body look inappropriate. But then this person is wearing workout leggings to work. And a workout crop top and saying that, oh no, they're going to go to the gym after, but I can't wear jeggings to work. I had an incident where I was coming out of an elevator. In my program at Roswell, there were 2 Black girls, me and another friend of mine. I was coming out of an elevator and this professor starts yelling at me like, where's this data? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, wait, why is I don't work with him. Then he said a particular enzyme. And I was like, oh, wait, you think I'm the other girl?
She's Black.
I'm the other Black girl. She's Black. So then his friend, his fellow goes, oh my God, it's not her. And then he says, oh, you all look the same anyway. That is the most dehumanizing thing you can tell anybody, is to tell them that you are not unique from another person. So to pay him back for 2.5 years, I never called him by his real name. I called him other names. But of course, I can only do this in the United States. I feel like if I did this in Ghana, I'd be in trouble. But I wanted to make him understand how dehumanizing it was, and the fact that you were grouping all of us in the same, we're all unique. We're all coming to the table with our own unique traits. I probably didn't overcome it, but it was my own petty way of paying him back. I didn't call him by his real name until the day I defended my thesis. And he had learned over the 2.5 years why I did that to him. And I'm hoping that he will never confuse another Black woman for another Black woman. And so the challenge I face every day is just trying to make it normal that there are different Black women in STEM, and they're all bringing different and unique traits to the table.
Yeah.
It's very tiring, and also for people to not, expect us to be airbenders and create magic. Whatever standard you hold my non-Black friends to, hold me to the same standard.
Yeah.
I will blow it for sure. I will exceed your expectations, but don't expect me to bend metal without heat when you don't expect that from another person. It's not fair to me. It's traumatizing to me. And one of the ways I've even come this far is therapy. I have a therapist. I talk to her every 2 weeks. I wish I could talk to her even more often, but the healthcare system in the United States is trash, so I have to pay out of my own pocket, and it's a lot of money, but it's a great investment. Therapy, and also surrounding yourself with people who want your success. Not everybody wants you to succeed. Yeah. It's a very hard lesson you will learn. You shouldn't tell everyone your business, because some people will make sure it doesn't happen for you. So I'm very lucky. I have friends and family and a therapist.
Wow, you're doing amazing.
I'm trying, and so are you.
So I follow your posts on LinkedIn, and I see how you're fighting not just for Black women to be respected in the STEM fields. Like, I see you guys are going through a lot in the diaspora, and it's sad. It's sad, yeah. Not just as a Black woman, not just as a Black person, but then as a woman also, right? So big ups to you. And I see how you're fighting against the perceived look that people have for ladies in STEM. Like, look at you. You're looking amazing. You look amazing. And I see you're fighting against that. Like, why did that start to?
It started as a culmination of, it started the day I went to a conference in graduate school.
Okay.
My poster. It was a very small conference. There were 3 awards given out at that conference. Mm-hmm. And somehow I got one, which was cool. I was like, yay, people like my research. And so they had announced that, these 3 award recipients, their posters are posters number, blah, blah, blah. I was on my poster, and this guy came up to my poster and said, "Oh, so you got the award." I was like, what do you mean by that? And I actually ended up crying. Oh. Because it was said with so much disdain, and there wasn't a hint of good luck. It was just like, "Oh, you got it." So I was like, okay. Let's flip this. Let's take this, because they're actually some people say there are 2 ways you can react to things. I think there are more than 2 ways. I can cry about it, and then I'll do something about it. Yeah. I'm always, you can cry, you can get angry, and then when you're done, take that energy and put it to somewhere else. And so I decided then to let myself, my true self, come to the table, because I thought up until that point, I thought that a scientist has to be staid, has to be colorless, has to not care about how they look, because that means that they're not paying attention to their science, which is absolute hogwash. Like, no, you can care about how you look, yeah, and still be a phenomenal scientist. I don't understand why people think a scientist is not serious because they look nice. Oh, you want them to look crazy? That's trash. Most scientists are very organized people, and if most organized people know how to dress, like, I don't get it. Yeah. And it gets tiring when people start. Like, I walked into a bathroom one time, some woman startled, and I was like, "Why are you startling? Like, I also belong in this incubator here." And so that's why I've been pushing for people to accept everybody as they are, because once you do that, you open up so many avenues for people to bring their true selves to the table, which would mean that they bring all of their good energies, all their creativity, all their passion to a project. And when you have that fullness, that's when you actually see something like be really made very nice. I'm not saying that you should be unprofessional. I'm not saying that at all. I think there's so many people I know who are like goth and professional. And I wish I could do that. So this perceived notion that there is a mold for a scientist, I think it's trash. We all belong here. I mean, if you look at the human body, there are so many different cells, so many different shapes, so many different sizes. So if, excuse me, if the human body has this complexity of shape and sizes, why do we think that people who study not even just the human body, the universe?
Yeah,
I mean, look at all the nebula,
right? To make the perfect piece. So
thank you. Everything is so complex and so diverse. So why would you think that the people who study that should be one way? That makes no sense. It doesn't make sense to me. So that's why I've been pushing for that, because I feel like that gatekeeps it. It makes it look like if you're not a certain way, you can't be a scientist. And I don't know how many Nobel laureates we've lost along the way because
they want to seem boring.
How can we be born when we learn so much cool things in science? I don't get it. Like, even the way cells talk to each other is exciting. So why would you want to make people who study that less exciting than what they study? It's like you have to talk. No, I'm very serious about my work, but I also care that I have fun. I have a balanced life, because it's when you're able to step away from your work, you can come back with new eyes, fresh eyes, different perspective, and solve it. So that's why I do what I do, and that's why I look how I look. I'm also super lazy, so I only.
Thank you, dear. So what's next for you, Danielle? What's next for you?
Ooh, that's a great question. So right now I am a AAAS If-Then ambassador. AAAS means American Association for the Advancement of Science.
Okay.
And the If-Then initiative is an initiative that is aimed at increasing visibility of women in STEM as role models for young girls. Mm-hmm. And I was selected as an ambassador for that program. And what I've been using that platform to do is to reach out to a lot of children of color to show them that you belong here. Like, you can look like me and be a scientist. You can look like you and be like, we all belong here. There is no mold to be a scientist. So I've been using that platform to do a lot of outreach stuff. I have a lot of things in the pipeline I can't talk about. But yeah, that's what I've been focusing on for the rest of the year. It's August, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the rest of the year I have a bunch of other little side projects that will come out. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. It's been a lot. And also adjusting to this new job. But who knows, in the next 5 years, I might be a vice president somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. It's possible.
I don't know, but
right?
Yeah, but I think I was told that you should be like water and be receptive to being poured into any vessel, and then take it up, fill it up, and then have someone pour you again. So that's how I try to live my life. If you need me to do this, if I can do it within the best of my ability, I'll do it. If I can't, I will admit I cannot. I don't like people who think they can do everything. No, we can't all do it. And that's okay. Some people can. I honestly can't. If it's gonna overwhelm my mental state, I won't do it. And if I know someone else who can do it better, I'll recommend them, because it's good karmic points, but also they're better at it. Let them do it. And then whatever you're good at, you. So that's
Thank you. And the last question, what advice do you have for our young females looking to go into careers in STEM? What would you tell your younger self?
I would tell my younger self to not be scared of the unknown, because it might seem like everyone knows what they're doing. They don't. It's a fallacy. Everyone is freestyling. Yeah. And so whatever opportunity comes your way, take a step back. Don't work from a scarcity mindset where you think that you have to say yes to everything. Sometimes you can say no, and it's okay. You shouldn't make anyone make you feel like you don't belong here, because you do. Hands down, you belong. And you can take a career and mold it into whatever you want. Like literally the universe is your limit. So don't boxed in by labels. Express yourself. Take a step back and, understand who you are, what makes you tick, what makes you lose energy, and then say yes or no to an opportunity. And lastly, surround yourself with people who want you to succeed. Be intentional about it. It's not going to happen. No, you have to hand pick people. And if that means you're going to lose people along the way, you will. But the people who bring with you, they will push you so far you wouldn't even be surprised. So careful how you choose your friends. They will play a huge role in where you go. So that's what I'd say.
That's true. Thank you so much for making time to be with us today. I'm sure it's very early there, right? Did you have enough sleep, or did I spoil your sleep?
I think I had enough. Yeah, actually, no. I went to bed pretty early last night. Yeah, I had a great amount of sleep. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because I love Fridays. Because Fridays mean the week is about to end. So I like to extend Fridays as much as possible. Because Saturday means Sunday's coming.
Yeah, that means Monday's there. Yeah. Thank you so much, Danielle. Thank you. And we'll be having you on Just again soon. So guys, watch out. So thank you, lovely viewers, for joining us today. Thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedules to join us. And kindly subscribe to this channel. See you again soon. Bye.